I'm going to start doing that. People, oh, hey, this is Jeopardy. With a mentor. I'll put you on hold when we get the guys.
We got a producer and everything.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, you have your own producer?
I like it.
The connection. Let me hear you again.
Okay. Hello.
Good connection. Let me. You guys. It's kind of overmodulated and staticky.
Oh. Okay.
Which may be the sound you're going for, but
it's just our natural voices.
It's clear on our side.
Yeah. Well, we're professionals over here.
Yes.
Yeah, we're not.
Do you want to try to call back?
Yeah, you sound good.
Do we both sound good?
So it's just in your head as far as the sound?
Now it's good.
Okay.
Maybe it was Mike Hawk who didn't sound good.
Yeah, he's.
Now you sound like my wife.
Exactly.
Gonna blame Mike Hawk.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Dan Patrick Show on Premier Networks and streaming on Peacock, everybody, it's Dan Patrick. Dan, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. I was looking forward to talking to Mike Hawk, but I guess we'll just have to make do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're stuck with us instead.
Exactly. We'll get to talking about the Hawks and 49ers game on Saturday in a minute. But a few questions first. As you know, we do have some commonality as far as we have to deal with your brother on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. How are you doing?
We're doing okay.
He acts like a nice guy, but I don't buy it. I mean, he's smiling, always pleasant. I'm like, there's something up with this guy because no one's in a good mood all the time. I refuse to believe it.
Wait, now I got to get this. I know you're talking about your Hawks, but I was talking about your producer, Mike Hawk.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay.
You can't get past that, can you?
Jeez, whiz, Dan.
Okay, because I grew up with somebody whose name was Mike Hunt. And he was in my brother's class, my older brother's class. So when I saw this name, I could relate to it, just because we used to ask the principal to over the loudspeaker call for Mike Hunt to come to the principal's office, and our childish ways, we got a big kick out of this. So
yes,
it brought back memories.
I won't call it childish. Early when I first got into radio, I was also doing sports. All right, and I did it in Baltimore, Maryland. And at the time, there was a Tamir Goodman, I think was the kid's name. Anyway, he was a promising young basketball player, but his coach was also
Towson.
Mike Hunt. All right. So there was something had gone down, and at halftime, I guess the coach lost his mind and threw a chair. The chair ricocheted off of a locker and brushed Tamir on the shoulder. It was no big deal, but it was all the rage. And my boss come getting mad at me because I said, you wouldn't expect that out of Mike Hunt, to walk into a locker room, and then Mike Hunt picked up a chair and hit Tamir Goodman. He was assaulted by Mike Hunt. So my boss naturally asked me to stop, and I'm like, what do you want me to do, dude? It's the biggest story in Baltimore right now. I have to talk about Mike Hunt. And the thing is, he did not go by Michael. He went by Mike, and that was the actual story. Mike Hunt picked up a chair and assaulted Tamir Goodman.
What is the best sports name that you've come across in your There was a guy that was a linebacker in Illinois. Luscious
Pussy, and he changed. That was his name, and he changed it to Luscious Pussy because he went to the NFL draft.
That makes a difference.
Yeah.
Why would you change your name?
I know, man. I mean, your name is Luscious Pussy. That is your actual God-given name. I'm keeping it.
And wasn't Tamir Goodman the Jewish Jordan?
He was. Yes, he was. The Jewish
exactly
Jordan.
Right.
Yeah, now I remember. Oh, by the way, while we're on names, my priest growing up, and my brother can confirm this, his name was Father, and his last name is spelled B-L-O-M-E.
Father, wait, spell the last name again? I'm sorry.
B-L-O.
Blom?
Oh, no.
E-M-E.
Father, was it Blomy?
Yes.
That is actually.
No, it was not.
Come on.
It was not.
I swear.
No, it was not.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
I have a newspaper article.
Oh my God.
His name was William Blomy, and he actually left
Jesus
the parish
Christ.
and ran off with the principal's sister Ann.
Jesus Christ. Of course he did.
Yes.
Tell me he went by Will. Will Blomy.
Will you? Yeah. William Ulysses Blomy.
Blomy. Damn.
Well, So, yeah, I grew up with some really interesting, small town, interesting names. There were the Rape Sisters who lived down the block.
Gee, better than the Rape Brothers.
What goes on in Ohio, man?
I don't know. Like, we just grew up with everybody having, kind of their different names.
I'm from West Virginia, man. We didn't have that going on. You guys made fun of us.
We had the Kuntz family.
That's TZ, right?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, like Rusty Kuntz with...
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm sorry if we went off on a tangent there.
No.
It was just Mike Hawk. I was looking forward to having him pick up the phone. That's all.
Yeah, he's late because there's traffic going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Who was a better basketball player, you or your brother?
Me.
You were, for sure. Well, you were, AA third-teamer? All-state?
Yeah, I was All-State. But the older I get, the better I was.
Were you a better baseball player or better basketball player?
Basketball. Yeah. I liked baseball. I loved basketball.
There's action going on in basketball.
Yeah. We're on a rock station. You were actually on a rock station in Dayton?
Yeah, WTUE, Dayton's best rock and roll.
Now, did you go by Dan Patrick? Did you have one of these weird names like the Boner?
Like Mike Hawk. The Boner.
No. At the time, I don't know if we had those kind of names, like nicknames. It was just a straight up rock and roll station, but we didn't have those. Like you can call me this, but when I'm on the air, I'm this.
Right.
What was some of your? Did you do a double shot Tuesday? Here's feels like the first time and hot blooded. What was your specialty?
Oh, it was 2 for Tuesday.
Okay,
yeah. Here's a double helping of Zeppelin here.
Right. It's always Zeppelin. Apparently, no other band. Zeppelin is the only band. You're going to get the lead out.
Going to get the lead out.
Yeah.
That was my favorite band growing up, and
sure.
got to see them. I went through the 70s, and I got to see. So Aerosmith was my first concert, but I got to see Stones, Zeppelin, Who, Bowie, all in the 70s. So I was very fortunate to have friends who had a car that we could go see shows.
Was that Dayton Arena? I saw Rush in Dayton Arena.
Well, Dayton and Cincinnati, because I grew up kind of in the middle of Dayton and Cincinnati, so you could go one way or another, 40 minutes one way or 25 minutes the other, and or you can go to Louisville or Lexington and see these concerts as well.
Okay. What about? You were in a couple of music videos. You were in Hootie and the Blowfish?
Yeah, Only Want to Be With You.
And what else?
Because you're who I think of when I think of that song. First time I heard that song, I said, "Man, they need Dan Patrick."
Thank you.
And what else? Brad Paisley, maybe?
Brad Paisley, Gone Fishing, and he came into SportsCenter. It was a Sunday night, and he said, "Hey, can I come in? I have this idea of a music video." And he brought his wife in, who I didn't realize at the time was an actress, and I think she's in Father of the Bride, maybe.
All right.
So very, beautiful woman, but, I was just talking to him, and then he said, "Hey, I want you to play yourself in this video." And then next thing I know, I recorded something, and it won Country Music Video of the Year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
you are solely responsible for that.
Exactly.
Now, is that why, when they read the bio, right, so it says Dan Patrick, he's an American sportscaster, radio personality, and actor. What exactly qualifies the actor part here?
I've been in 21 Sandler movies.
I know. I was going to ask, what's the deal with you now? I mean, just recently you were in Happy Gilmore 2. You were in The Longest Yard back in the day, The Water Boy.
Yeah. Yep. I struck up a friendship with him back when he was shooting the original Happy Gilmore, and somebody didn't show up for an announcer role. And I saw Sandman at Madison Square Garden. He was there for a Knicks game. And I just happened to walk past him, and he just said, "Danny P." And then I go, "Hi, Adam." And then he mentioned that, somebody didn't show up for a movie role, and that I knew. And I said, "Hey, if you ever need an announcer, you let me know." And he goes, "Danny, you're in my next movie. You're going to be a police officer, and you're going to wear a mustache, and your name is Danny McPatrick." And I go, okay. And so he put me in his next movie, Longest Yard, and I play a police officer who tries to arrest him at the beginning of The Longest Yard.
Now, okay, back to Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
So that movie had Bob Barker in it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Now, did he ask you to replace him?
No. What's interesting about Bob Barker, that Sandman reached out to him, and Barker said he would do it only if he won the fight with Sandler.
Okay. That explains a lot.
And Sandler said, of course, it's a better scene if you do that. But no, he just had me playing the announcer. I think I'm in like 5 or 6 scenes. But, once you're in, it's like, a mafia family. Once you're in, you're in. Sandman, he'll always write a part for me, or he'll at least try to write a part for me. And he's been a really good friend for, quite 30 years or so.
That's awesome.
Well, we brought up Bob Barker because there's this synergistic thing between you and Bob Barker. You had, the opportunity, but turned it down to, audition to be the host for The Price is Right.
Do you see where I was going to go with that segue there?
Yeah, I thought that you were talking about being in the movie. I was going to replace him when I was, it was 1999, Spurs Knicks, and I got a call, and somebody said, hey, would you like to host, Price is Right? And I said, no. They said,
why?
I mean, I wasn't ready for that.
Why not? I mean, what is it? I mean, look, and I don't know the ins and outs of television game show hosting, but it seems like, I don't want to say easy, but kind of
you just need a longer microphone on that show.
A longer microphone.
That's all you need.
It just, other than being hugged by strangers all the time, it seems like that would be a sweet gig, just for the longevity. People enjoy it.
Yeah, but I was doing SportsCenter. I was doing something I really loved, and I didn't want to be a game show host because I couldn't do both. And I was getting ready to go to San Antonio, and they said, hey, we want to set up a Price is Right set in San Antonio just to see how you look, with all of the different games that they had. Because I'm 6'3", and they wanted to see sort of how things looked. And I go, no, I'm not. I don't want to do that. And they go, I said, well, okay, how much are you going to pay me? How much is this job worth? They said, if you take the job, we'll tell you.
So what?
Okay.
That's a
And
little
thanks. And I said, no. And then I find out that the salary was $10 million for Drew Carey.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was $10 million back then. Who knows what it is now?
More.
But I got Price is Right. I had I was going to be the original Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm meeting with the guy who put on the show, and he said, I want you to host Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He goes, I just got to get a job for Regis Philbin. He goes, Regis is calling me. I got to get him
nuts, man.
Got to get him a job. So I go home from L.A., and I said to my wife, I think I'm hosting Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and they just got to get a job for Regis Philbin. So next thing I know, I'm in a convenience store, I don't know, a month later, six weeks later, pick up TV Guide, and there's Regis Philbin on the cover, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I said, I guess I didn't get the job. The executive producer didn't even call me to tell me that he gave it to Regis Philbin. So I was up for that job. I've been up for a few of these game shows, but I don't know. I think I got on like a mailing list where it was, hey, you need a game show host. Why don't you try Dan Patrick? And I was flattered, but I don't know if I could do that and have fun.
But if you had to host, look, you're going to host a game show of the ones that are available.
Didn't you host?
What would be your
Jeopardy?
go-to?
Jeopardy. I was going to be the host. I was going to be the replacement. I was going to succeed Alex Trebek. Now this is.
Are you being serious?
Yes, absolutely. So this is years ago when I get a call. So that day I'm doing my radio show, and we had the topic of what game show would you want to host? And I said, there's only one. It's Jeopardy. So I get a call from a guy he was Steve Moscow, who was the head of Sony, and he's calling me from France. He said, hey, can you come to New York tomorrow? I want to talk to you about hosting Jeopardy. Now, I think he's messing with me because I just said that. So I go into New York, and he said, if Alex doesn't resign, we want you to host Jeopardy. Now, Alex did re-sign, and they gave me Sports Jeopardy. They created Sports Jeopardy, and then Steve Moscow left Sony after Alex, was done. They brought in Ken Jennings. I was not considered for the job, and they brought in Ken Jennings. But yes, I met with Alex a couple of times. He could not have been nicer. I still have, the last voicemail that he left me on my phone. So that was something that was a challenge. I really enjoyed that whole process.
There is I was going to ask you about this. There's a Dan Patrick Show neon sign in a bar that I go to down in Tacoma. But you're sponsored by Red Hook, and it looks like an old sign.
We were Red Hook, and
that old brewery is right by my house, and it just was a small brewery. Yeah, I was just kind of wondering, how did that connection even happen?
Just had a friend who knew somebody who was a fan of the show, and they said, have you had Red Hook? The first time I had Red Hook was on tap in Seattle at, what's the name of the guys who, the waiters had their white shirts, suspenders. They famous for their seafood.
Probably the Metropolitan Grill, but I don't know.
That's it. No, that's it.
Oh, the Met. Yeah,
that's a good spot.
We're all fans of each other.
So when Seattle was in the NBA Finals and I'm out there, I went there every single night, and it was awesome, man. And they had Red Hook on tap, and I just, when I had this opportunity, I told the guy, I said, I love the beer, and I went in there and had the salmon. God, I can't even. What's the salmon that's only available for about 6 weeks there?
Copper River.
Yes, so Copper River salmon, and I had a couple of pints of Red Hook, and plus I loved Seattle. I love that Sonics team.
We did too.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
I hope you get an opportunity to bring a team back there, because that was a lot of fun. I got to spend a couple of Junes there in Seattle.
I'm very confident Seattle will get an NBA team back. Just one, they had to work out the media deal where Amazon played a big role in that. And who's right here in Seattle other than Amazon? Who owns Climate Pledge Arena other than Amazon? I get the feeling that's like the worst kept secret in the NBA.
Well, we've got a couple beers through the radio station, and also notice that you've got some hooch.
Yeah, I want to ask you about the hooch coming up.
Maybe we could do a little trade here, Dan. You can send us a couple bottles of your finest, and we'll send you a couple cases of beer.
Well, we created our own moonshine because I thought, you know what, there's not enough moonshine out in the world, that everybody's got their bourbon and tequila. And so I came up with Tailgate Moonshine, and we make a variety of flavors.
I was perusing that today. I'll be honest with you, man.
Yeah, you could just stick a couple of bottles in your brother's suitcase next time you see him and bring that back.
We'll ship some beer out to you.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I'd love it.
What's your
salted caramel moonshine? You'll love it.
Ooh.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I was flipping through. I'm like, dude, he's got booze.
Can you put that in your coffee?
Yes.
Okay.
Why would you waste it? I mean,
I'm just saying.
Drink it.
No, it sounds like a good one for coffee.
I'm sure it's good with coffee. I am a very strict, just put the whiskey in my mouth kind of guy.
Yeah. All right, Dan, we've got Seahawks and 49ers Saturday, 5 o'clock Lumen Field. What are your thoughts on this one?
When you have these games, and it wasn't a pretty game last time, but, you win. This Niner team would scare me because I don't think they know kind of what they're doing. They're not supposed to win. I watched that Philly game and I go, man, Philly is going to mess around and allow San Francisco to actually go, all right, we're going to win this. And, that defense, you don't know anybody on that defense. McCaffrey is not what he once was, but still he's so dangerous. If I would say, hey, your go-to receiver is Kyle Juszczyk, you'd go, they're in trouble.
Right. But he did damage.
He's not your fantasy pick.
He did great damage out there in that game.
I just think, there's certain teams and certain players where we go, well, let me see with the postseason. Like it or not, with Sam Darnold, here we are. Postseason, let's see what you got. And that's what, it might come down to is, Sam, make sure that you complement this defense, run the football, make a couple of plays. You don't have to be Tom Brady. You just have to be good. You have to be, error-free or as close to that as possible, because the Niners are opportunistic. I mean, Robert Saleh is a really good defensive coordinator. And you got Kyle Shanahan, who's somehow doing, keep them. There's no way they're even close to the talent of the Eagles. That's the thing that would make me nervous. You should win. You're favored by 7.5. It's don't let them get to the point they did in Philadelphia where they go, damn, we can win this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think the Rams or the 49ers would be the scarier team for the Hawks fans?
Well, I would say the Rams are a better team.
Easily.
Yes.
But I feel like, kind of to your point, though, the Rams are a better team, but you can watch tape and get an idea of what they're doing. You have to stop them, but you can understand. And like you said with San Fran, you can watch tape, and in the end, you're like, what are they doing?
Yeah. Also, the weather could be a factor in Chicago. And I don't know how the Rams do in cold weather. So, they got to get through that first.
True.
Although, the Rams in cold weather nearly beat Philadelphia last year.
That's right.
I mean, Puka Nacua is an absolute beast. He is probably the offensive player of the year. And Smith Najigba is a really talented receiver as well. But Puka Nacua, he had 18 targets in that game.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to him, and we're going to him. Now try to stop him, and with trying to find out exactly how good this team is defensively. I thought that they had the potential to be really good defensively. They didn't look good against Carolina.
No.
And Carolina is not very good. So that was the surprising part of it. Stafford's going to be your MVP. He's been in these moments. I don't think he gets flustered. And Caleb Williams is, man, like you have two reactions. You go, oh my God, to, oh my God.
That's it. You're right. Those are the only two things I watch him.
Yep.
Either like,
But
what the
he's
hell
talented.
are you doing, or how the hell did you do that? Right? I mean, you're right. That's it.
And he's not afraid of the moment. Like I wish he was Jared Goff the first three quarters, and then let him be Caleb Williams in the fourth quarter, because
right.
that's when you go, all right, go out there and now you can win it. Just don't lose it in the first three quarters. But that's another team. They're kind of figuring it out, and it's weird. Having been in this business covering sports for over 40 years, you see teams in real time kind of get that confidence where they go, we can do this. I go back to the 88 Dodgers. They had no business winning that World Series against the A's. But you could see in the moment after Gibson's homer, they were like, we can beat them. And I think that's the amazing part of this sometimes, when you see a team kind of, it crystallizes, and they realize they should be great.
I think you're 100% correct, because, in that Green Bay game that just passed, they were getting their ass handed to them in the first half. But when you just looked at the body language of the guys on the Bears, they almost seemed fine with it. But because this is all they do. Like, hey, guys, it sucks again. It's almost like a Rocky movie. You're getting the piss beat out of you, but he's going to stand up. He's going to deliver the final blow and win, by the skin of his teeth. And the Bears seem to be doing. And you're right. The confidence is there. If they got to a fast start, they'd be an outstanding team. But they never lose faith in their ability to come back, no matter the differential. And you're right. To me, that just makes them scary.
Yeah, but you see this in all teams, all sports. Go back to the Miracle on Ice. Like, they couldn't beat Russia. If they played 9 more times, they don't beat Russia. But in that moment, they beat Russia.
Yeah, you only need the one.
That's it. That was the beauty of it. It's not a 7-game series. Wait, how would sports be changed if it was one game in not a 7-game series?
And Al Michaels is still calling it.
Yeah,
Still.
Yeah.
About that. Dan Patrick, hey, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, my brother, who knows radio quite well, he said that you're as good of a team, a show, as he's ever had, and he's been in radio for 30 years. So It's high praise, and rightfully so. So congrats on all your success. And
we will let Mike Hawk that you know that you're asking for by name.
I think we learned that Ohio is a weird place to grow up.
Yeah, man.
Wow, Ohio.
And Father Blow Me blesses you.
Dan Patrick, thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Take care.